Hey guys, it's Scott here, and I've been asked to do some SoapUi video tutorials. So here is video number 1. In this video we're just going to go through where to download SoapUi from, as well as some of the UI features. And if we get time we might even import a project in just so we can see how it looks within SoapUi. So a bit of background, SoapUi is a software testing tool, and it's designed for testing both REST and SOAP services. Not only that, it can also mock services, it can also connect to database, you can use Groovy scripting in it to make it even more powerful. It basically does a lot of things. If you don't know what a web service is, then you probably want to research that before watching any of these videos. Right, so with that said, let's start. To get SoapUi, all you need to do is go to their website, so SoapUi, and they'll have a downloads page. Here you can download the SoapUi open source or the SoapUi Pro version. Now the open source is free, but the Pro version will come at a cost. There's some differences between the two, and there's also some older versions. So we're going to be running these video tutorials based on SoapUi 5.3.0 open source version. The videos will still be applicable from pretty much anything that's 5 point something upwards, and will also be applicable to the Pro version. So click on the version you want and it should give you a executable which you can save and run. Cool. So once you run it, you should end up with something like this. We've got some login buttons across the bottom, and some icons in the icon menu, and your standard drop downs across the top. Any projects that you have will show up on this side of the screen, and any open tests will show up in this big wide area in the middle. I'll just go through some of the drop downs that are of value. Under File is where we have creating a new SOAP project, new REST project, or just an empty project. It's also where we're going to import an existing project, and we can also import any existing Postman collections that you might have. Postman is another web service testing tool. The other option under File is Preferences, and inside Preferences, if you need to run your test through a proxy, you can set your proxy in the proxy settings here. You've got a bunch of other settings that you can set, but the main one is that proxy one. Also, if you do change any of your settings and you want to keep them, remember to save your preferences. You've also got a proxy button up here to be able to turn your proxy on and off. I'm not using proxy, so it's red, but if you were using one, then you'd see that as green. So what we're going to do now is import a project, just so you can see how projects look in SoapUi. In the description below you should hopefully see a project in a WSDL file, which you can download. Once you've downloaded those, go to File, Import Projects, locate your project, and note that it's an XML file, click Open. You'll likely get this pop-up, and this pop-up is basically saying where's your WSDL file. So choose Select WSDL File and navigate to where your WSDL is. Once you select WSDL, open, it should come up with something like Resolved, click OK. We should be good to go. So starting at the top, we've got our project, we've got the bindings, some test suites, and then some mock services. We'll just start off at the project level, show project view, expand that out. Now there's a lot of things in here, but we're just going to go through the real basics at this point. We have these buttons at the bottom. Here's a description. You can put in a description of your project if you want. You've got a properties section. So these are the sort of properties that you want anything within your project to be able to use. So that might be things like server name, maybe port number, all sorts of things. You've also got a load script, so you can put some Groovy scripts in here to run every time the project opens, and a save script as well. next level down we have our bindings. So when you import the WSDL, this binding should be created from that WSDL, and we don't really deal too much with them. If you drill down, you should have an example request. So here we've got an XML request with an endpoint, and we could build up multiple requests here, but we don't really want to. We want to put all those requests under an actual test suite. So we'll leave that for now, and we're going to go to the next level down. So next level is the test suite. If we right click on it, we can go show test suite editor, and it will show any test cases that we have under that test suite. You've got a description for your test suite. You've got properties, so these are the test suite level properties. Got our setup scripts and the tender script. Just close that. So the next level down from that is your test case. We'll show test case editor. Here we can see any test steps underneath that test case, and we've also got the same buttons across the bottom. We've got the description, the test case level properties, setup script, and a teardown script. We've also got a test case log. Next level down is your test steps. So if I just open that up, here we've got an XML request. This is a copy from the one you saw earlier in the bindings. You've got an endpoint. You've also got these sections down the bottom, so if you need authentication, you'd enter it in the authentication section. You've got headers, where you can add specific headers that you might need, attachments, and below that is the assertions. We'll cover all that in a lot more details later on. If we run this at the moment, we're obviously not running anything on our localhost port 20050. So we'll see this message come up. So this is where the response is, and it's saying that there's currently 0 running SoapUi mock services. Okay, next we're going to get the mock service running. Once we do that, we should be able to get a response back here. So I'm going to go down to get hero real name. Just open that up, click this little settings button, and see that we've got a path, a port, and a host. And click the little run button. We can see that it's telling us this mock is now running on port 20050, which is exactly where we're pointing. I won't go into too much more detail about the mock, apart from it's running a small groovy script to basically take in a superhero name and return their real name back. So when we run the same test that we ran earlier, we should now be getting a response. There we go, we sent in Flash, we got Barry Allen. We send in Superman, we get back Clark Kent. Cool. So essentially there's your test. You're going to be sending a request to the web service, and you'll be looking at the response and seeing that it contains what you expect it to contain. So if you send in Superman, you'd expect it to contain Clark Kent. If it came back with Roger Dortress, you would fail that test. You'd mark that test as a failure. Of course, then you get into assertions. Assertions is where you can actually set those tests up. So for an example, real easy example, it comes with some predefined assertions. If we go into contents, so this is contains, and we're going to say we want it to contain Clark Kent. So when we run that, you can see it's green. If we change this to Flash again, we get Barry Allen, which is not Clark Kent, and we get a failure. You can also notice up here it turns red as well. Alright, so that's probably it for lesson 1. It kind of covers where to get SoapUi from, and a real basic overview of the project. I hope you liked that video. I know that we moved very quickly through everything, so don't worry if you're confused. in the following videos we'll be going through all these things in a lot more detail and showing you how to build some very powerful tests. Hit the like button, subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.